Hey guys, welcome back to another science lesson with HK Math and Science. This video will be about effects of industry, and the learning intention for this lesson is to develop an understanding of the effects industry has on different species. And by the end of this lesson, we should all be able to define the terms extinction, endangered species, vulnerable species, and rare species, be able to discuss how logging, mining, agriculture, and urbanization affects the ecosystem, and finally be able to discuss how humans are trying to reduce the effects of industry. So let's just pause the video here and take a couple of minutes to write these down. So the starting point of the effect of industry is the human population. As the human population grows, cities get larger and industries expand. This means that the area for natural environments is reduced, badly affecting many animal species. So let's just pause the video here and answer these questions either in our books or on their puzzle. First one is, what animals do you know have been affected by human actions? And the second one is, what are some of the human actions that harm animals? So industry can have really bad effects for animals and environments, and the worst case for this is extinction. A species is said to be extinct when nobody has seen it in the wild for over 50 years and the last known individual has died. In the past 125 years, more than 125 species of Australian native plants and animals have become extinct, and hunting, changes in the environment, and habitat loss have caused many more species to become threatened. So human industry can also make species threatened. It's not as bad as extinction, but it's getting just as worse. Threatened organisms can be classified into one of three groups depending on how great the threat to their survival is. These groups are known as endangered species, vulnerable species, and rare species. So just going through the definitions of each of these, endangered species are species close to extinction and very small numbers remain. Vulnerable species are experiencing a rapid population decline and are in danger of becoming extinct if drop in numbers continues. And rare species have low numbers and are often spread out over a large area. Although populations may be small, they are not decreasing. So we have the worst up the top here. So we have four major industries that affect Earth's environment, and these are logging, mining, agriculture, and urbanization. So starting off with logging, the definition of logging is the activity of cutting trees and preparing timber. Timber is used in construction, furniture, and as wood pulp for paper, and logging destroys forests and the habitats in them. So this means animal homes and food sources are lost, and more light is able to reach the ground, and the types of plants that grow also changes. So our next major industry is mining, and this is the activity of removing substances such as coal or metal from the ground by digging. This is a very big industry in Australia. However, mining has a potential to cause major damage to environments. This is because the plants and animals on the surface are removed to access the resources underneath, which ultimately destroys habitats, and poisonous chemicals from mines can also pollute waterways. Now moving on to agriculture, this is known as the practice of farming. In Australia, a large area of land has been cleared for farming. This means the native plants are gone and the land is now used for cattle and to grow crops such as wheat. These agricultural areas provide very different habitats from native plants, and also fertilizers and pesticides used on the crops may wash into rivers, causing changes to the wetland ecosystems. Right, so moving on to our final slide, urbanization. Urbanization is the process in which more cities are built and more people go to live in them. And in this case, towns and cities are built on land that was once a natural ecosystem, and the native plants and animals have been replaced with houses, shops, offices, roads, and so on. So that brings us to the end of this video. Hopefully you guys did learn something from that, and hopefully you guys are now able to define the terms extinction, endangered species, vulnerable species, and rare species. Can discuss how logging, mining, agriculture, and urbanization affects the ecosystem, and we'll further discuss this last point in our next learning activity. So once again, thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys all back online.